Singles, a chance for us to look at the Destination Dubai Super Series rankings at the moment. And Jan Jorgensen and Kento Momota swapped places after Sydney because, of course, Jan Jorgensen reached the semi-final, whereas Momota lost in the last 16. Also swapping places was Victor Axelsen and Lin Dan. And, of course, Axelsen having reached the final at the Australian Open. Of course, the two players we will see in today's semi-finals are both on that list, the number 3 and the number 9 player, Kento Momota against Kashyap Parupalli. Well, as far as the men's singles draw was concerned, by quarter-final stage, we had 7 different nations involved, and the only 2 nations with 2 players were Japan and Indonesia. And the 2 Indonesians were both juniors, 18-year-old Anthony Ginting and 17-year-old Jonathan Christie. Both of those players having come through the qualifying. And that really is delightful to see 2 such young, promising Indonesian players progress through in their home event. But as you can see, semi-final stage, we've got 4 different players from 4 different nations. And that is a very, very healthy situation for World Badminton. In the bottom half of the draw, we've got the defending champion, Jan Jorgensen, against the beaten finalist from 2 years ago, Mark Schwiebler. But we will concentrate on the top half of the draw with Kashyap Parupalli and Kento Momota. So we await the arrival of the 2 players. Kashyap Parupalli, the Commonwealth Games gold medalist from last year in Glasgow, against the recent winner of the Singapore Super Series, Kento Momota. The 28-year-olds from Mumbai lives and trains in Hyderabad. This today will be the 6th time that he's stepped on to the semi-final day centre court. But he is yet to progress through to a Super Series final.
Number 8, and also World Junior Champion in 2012. From Japan, please welcome Kento Momota.
The young left-hander, the 20-year-old from Kagawa, Kento Momota. Created history in Singapore, became the first player from his country to win a Super Series men's singles title. Of course, Japanese players had won the men's doubles in the form of Hashimoto and Hirata in India in 2011. But not only was he the first ever Japanese winner of a Super Series men's singles, he became the youngest ever winner of the men's singles at a Super Series tournament at the age of 20 years, 7 months and 11 days. So both players just throwing some T-shirts to a few lucky fans here in Istora Senayan. Well, Steen, just before the players start their warm-up, hasn't it been wonderful to see 2 qualifiers from Indonesia progress through to the quarter-final stage?
Yeah, they've done really well, and one of them, of course, played against Momota, as we see here, and took him to 3 games, so definitely a strong performance by the young Indonesian men's singles players. It's going to be really interesting to follow them in the years to come. Yeah. And perhaps already in 2 months' time at the World Championships here in Jakarta.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, for the 20-year-old left-hander, down one place in the world ranking this week to number 9. He has been as high as 7. And as we just saw, he's down one place also on the Super Series destination Dubai, less down to 3. His win-loss record for the year, 5 previous tournaments, winning the Singapore Super Series, beating Hu Yun in the final. An extraordinary final it was too. He was 7-12 down in the 3rd game and then promptly won 14 of the next 17 points. So never write him off. And it's interesting that the repeat of that Singapore Open final happened in the 2nd round here. Of course, the 1st round he had to play another Hong Kong player, and that was revenge for his 2nd round defeat last week in Sydney. And the quarterfinal, as you were rightly saying, Steen, against the qualifier, the 18-year-old Anthony Ginting. Dropped the opening game, 1 hour and 6 minutes. That was a thrilling match late yesterday evening. So to Kashyap Parupalli, the 28-year-old from Mumbai. 12 in the world ranking at the moment. He did spend 1 week as high as number 6. That was in April 2 years ago. His win-loss record for the year, well, he's won 1 tournament, the Saeed Modi India Grand Prix Gold in Lucknow, beat Shrikant Kidambi in that final. 8 tournaments for him this year, and if you're wondering why he's got 8 losses, because his team matches at the Sudirman Cup also count in those stats. But look who he beat in the quarter-final stage, the world champion and world number 1, Chen Long. Incidentally, that was his 2nd victory over Chen Long here at the Indonesian Open, because this is his 2nd Indonesia Open semi-final, having reached the semi-final 3 years ago in 2012, where he eventually lost out to Simon Santoso. But it was in the last 16 he beat the world number 1, Chen Long, 3 years ago. So just 1 meeting between these 2 players previously. That was dating back to 2013, the 2nd round of the China Super Series. And Kento Momota winning on that occasion 2 straight games. I should mention that Kashyap Parupalli has put out 2 seeded players, because he also beat Sung Won Ho in the 2nd round, the number 5 seed. So for Kento Momota, here he is in the semi-final, and yet again he is not meeting another seeded player. None of his matches so far against a seed.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Kento Momota, Japan.
Wayana from Indonesia are umpire.
And on my left, Kashyap Parupalli,
The service judge,
India.
you don't want to mess with him because his name is Superman. So no arguing this
Kento
time.
Momota to serve. Level. Play.
Oh, what a lovely shot from Kashyap.
Service over. 1 love.
Called long.
2
It must have been
love.
mighty close.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was
Service
a big
over.
miss from Kashyap.
1 2.
I was reading an article the other day that he was voted at number 8 on Hyderabad's most desirable men for 2014, Kashyap. He's got film star good looks. Yeah, it's nice. And he's always a player to me, Steen, Kashyap, that's promised so much and yet perhaps not fulfilled everything that I had sort of hoped and expected that he would, and that's not to be detrimental at all.
He's perhaps just lacking the last 10-15% to be a constant semi-finalist. He's definitely got the game suited for the conditions here in the Storesen Iron. We saw that yesterday when he beat Chen Long. That's well played. Oh, unfortunately it's wide.
Service over.
Very good in the flat game. Very agile. Strong technical skills.
Yes, and I was also reading that he was saying that he wants the Indian #1 tag back again.
Yeah.
Of course, Srikanth is the highest ranked Indian player at the moment. Just gone up to #3, Srikanth, in this week's world rankings.
Yeah, and that's of course a very nice goal to have, but there's also charges coming from down below, as HS Pranoy is making a case for himself. He's been injured and not participating in these two tournaments in Australia and Indonesia, but he's done well. We saw RMV Gurusai play some good badminton last week, so
Yeah.
definitely a lot of strong Indian men's singles players.
Four, 3.
Well taken.
Service over. 4 all.
Well, Steen, just to emphasise the points you've made, 7 players from India in the top 51 in the world.
Yeah, and I think that's the most of any nation. I haven't counted it, but I'm pretty sure it is.
That's just long.
I think of a training regime
Service over.
they have
5,
in India.
4.
Lots of different playing styles to play against. And I think the Indian playing style has actually developed over the last 2-3 years, where they used to play a lot of patient, a little bit defensive badminton. We've seen them attacking, especially, of course, Srikanth
Yeah.
was perhaps the most attacking player in the world today.
5 all.
Yeah, it's a super smash. Of course, when he won the Commonwealth Games gold medal, Srikanth became only the 3rd Indian player to win the gold medal at the Commonwealth Games men's singles discipline.
6, 5.
And the first for 32 years.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't it delightful?
He's looking so calm and collected, Kento Momota. That's at least one of the explanations. The other is that he's sort of having trouble with his left knee, and I was actually fearing that in the beginning of the match, because he seemed to be taking all speed out of the rallies, all pace out of the rallies, and we know that he had to sort of not withdraw but be replaced during the Sudirman Cup semi-final due to a knee injury, and it's interesting to see how well he's recovered from that. He's got a strapping on it, but I mean, if you're not hurting a little bit somewhere, then you're just not trying hard enough here.
Oh my goodness, that's a nice shot. It's going wide.
Yeah. And before the match, I had Kento Momota as a reasonable favorite in this match because I think that he possesses both the skills to play in this environment here in Jakarta and also to sort of play in the bigger halls where you can use all court. So he's a more complete player in my opinion than Kashyap.
What about the fact that he's actually won a Super Series title? Obviously been in a final before, as he couldn't have won the title. Whereas his opponent, that will be a big step for him to progress through to a final. This is his 6th semi-final. And the experience of that, I think that also adds in Momota's favour.
Yeah. That's well played. And that's exactly the ability to make these sort of changes in pace and move quickly below the shuttle and launch the quick attack straight down the line. That's very, very efficient here in Istora Senayan.
Oh, well, it was a nice idea. Momota wasn't covering that at all.
8, 9.
You can see Kashyap's left shoulder heavily strapped, and that's because he dislocated that left shoulder some time ago. There's some condition where it keeps popping out, and therefore, has it always strapped nowadays?
Yeah.
But it doesn't affect his playing as such.
No, but of course there's the risk if he is making these kind of diving defensive shots that he lands a little bit awkward, and I can see the need for a sort of precaution taping.
It's going wide.
Yeah.
Service 10, 8.
Those skills, strong backhand skills under a little bit of pressure is so important.
It's a good rally. It's a pity it ends on such an error from Momota. So the 3-point advantage, 11-8 in favour of Kashyap at the mid-game interval here in the opening game. Masuda,
20 seconds.
Momota's
20
coach.
seconds.
I think we talked earlier in the year, Steen, about Momota and him openly stating that he was quoted in one of the Japanese newspapers as saying, you know, he's found it difficult that transferring from the junior badminton to the senior badminton. He said, but, you know, it is time I started winning. And the fact that he fulfilled that in winning the Singapore, I personally think that's very impressive, that the youngster recognized, yep, you can't just go on showing potential forever. You've got to step up to the plate and you've got to start delivering.
Yeah, and I mean, putting that kind of healthy pressure on yourself is it's a good idea.
Yeah.
And when I say healthy pressure, I mean that you sort of you got to have something to back it up.
Yeah.
You can't just lose all the first rounds and say, hey, I got to start winning tournaments, because then you're obviously not really close to it. But if there are signs that you sort of have the game and the playing style to win tournaments, then you sort of need to push yourself.
Yeah. And I wonder how much the success of Srikanth is pushing this man to take his game to a higher level.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's sort of breaking some mental barriers that Indian players can't win Super Series. Well, they can.
Yeah.
Because Srikanth has shown it, and I bet once in a while Kashyap beats Srikanth as he did in the Saitmodi International. So he says to himself, why shouldn't I be able to win Super Series when Srikanth can, and I can beat him in practice?
Yeah.
And in some of the tournaments where we meet. I thought it was Kashyap who chose ends at the coin flip, but I'm unsure about that now. Did you notice that? No? Because if he did, it would surprise me that he chose to start on the far side of the court.
No, it's obviously suiting him, and this is a run of 7 straight points from 9-8. Oh, look at that. That is super.
78.
I'm really interested to see the beginning of the second game, because I'm not convinced that Kento Momota is fully fit.
It's going wide. Oh, he's taken it. Yeah, I thought that was going wide too.
Yeah.
Sideways drift we've talked about from left to right.
17.
I don't think that defensive style here, we have Madhu Bisht, Indian coach. I don't think the defensive style is going to win anything from this side of the court. It's in. No.
No, I thought it was out. I agreed with the line judge.
Yeah.
89.
No,
Yeah,
it was out.
it's out.
Yeah, good call.
That is over. 10, 18.
So I see 2 explanations. The one, we already got that covered, that he's not fully fit. The other one is that Kento Momota doesn't want to waste too much energy here, playing a little bit more attacking style for a whole game. Saves
11.
some of the energy for the second game, and hopefully for him a decider, where he needs to play on this side of the court for half a game. That's well played.
Very well played.
That's pretty much how Kashyap beat Chen Long yesterday.
11.
Rallies very similar to that, putting pressure on Chen Long, controlling the drift extremely well, playing on one of the outer courts. Challenging at the net, using deceptions, and these straight smashes. Very, very powerful smashes straight down the line.
11.
I think one of the tricks playing against Kashyap is that you don't actually want to give him a chance to sort of jump into the rallies and hit the smashes. Give him a little time like this.
12, 20.
Because he's not a hard hitter.
No.
So if he can surprise you with his sort of shock attack, he's got a chance.
Yep. And second time of asking. takes the opening game in convincing style. 21-12. Yeah, just a little too relaxed, as you've already pointed out. Kento Momota.
Played one of the last match of yesterday against Anthony Ginting of Indonesia. Three-game match, taking 66 minutes, and he's actually had quite a short recovery time, as he's already on here at 2 o'clock, 2:30.
Well, one thing is certain, Kento Momota is going to need to lift his game from game number 1 if he wants to win through this semi-final. But all credit to Kashyap Parupalli. What a start he made.
Second game. Level. Play.
Gone long.
Service over.
Well, of course, we need more time for this second game to get underway, but I have a sneaky feeling that I could even see in that first rally a little more intensity in the movement of Momota. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I think I'm right. Yeah, that's a lovely smash, though, from Kashyap.
One of the things for Momota to pick up upon is that it's very rarely that Kashyap uses his cross smash. Because he does sometimes, it's just very rarely, so you're much better off covering the straight.
Making his 8th appearance here at the Indonesian Open. Kashyap, first time was 10 years ago.
Play.
That's why.
Missed it, yeah.
Service over. 2-1.
Not by much, but it was definitely missed.
Had it been in, it would have been in the racket of Momota. He got it covered. Interesting that he chooses to lift in the sort of dangerous side, where the side drift can take it out.
3-1.
Oh, look at that. And there's definitely a little more intensity in the playing style of Momota. Clever. Very good.
5-1.
Body smash. And just saw the gap deep into the forehand corner. Oh, lucky net cord from Kashyap, for which he apologises.
2-5.
He is so close to getting a World Championship medal in Guangzhou 2013.
Kashyap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember his opponent, but
Du Pengyu
yeah, it's a fantastic match.
had a match point at 2019 in the second. He had already won the first. Yeah, good rally.
It's so important to have the touch and the feel so that you're able to play these pushes or deceptive lifts, even from the side where you have a little bit drift along the court, so you have to be careful.
No, that wasn't the longest rally. We've had one at 29. But it's interesting. I know we've talked about his development and that big breakthrough of winning the Singapore Super Series, but you know, when I look back over the last couple of years, and Momota at this particular event in Indonesia, 2 years ago he lost in the qualifying to another Indian player, Sai Praneeth, and then last year lost in the very first round, last 32. I mean, the improvement in the last 12 months from Momota is just staggering.
It's about figuring out how to play in these holes and to sort of, if you haven't got the skills already, to practice them. That's well played by Kashyap. And that's pretty much what he's got to do. He's got to work like a maniac now from this side here.
Yeah.
If he wants to finish this match in 2 games. Because he gets a little bit help in his attack. Comes a little bit faster towards Momota than in the first game. And that's what's so hard, that he should still attack, but also be delicate in his shots to the baseline.
Oh, good backhand.
Excellent play.
It's landed in.
Excellent play. And how gutsy is that to play a net shot from so far below the tape? And that's what it takes here.
Yeah, that is amazing, isn't it?
Because otherwise he accepts the sort of playing conditions and lifts, and probably lifts a little bit too short because he's afraid of lifting long. So by making these creative shots, he sort of takes the initiative.
Landing well in. Well in.
6-5.
So 5 straight points for Kashyap to go back into the lead.
I think perhaps the Japanese side has sort of identified the forehand corner as not being as dangerous as the backhand corner of Kashyap, and I would agree with them, but he needs to play with a little bit bigger variation. Momota.
Seven, 5.
It's like, oh, yeah, challenge, because I was about to say that's landed in.
Kashyap Parupalli, challenge, call, out.
Well, we'll wait for Hawkeye to adjudicate for us, but I instinctively, I was literally about to say that's landed in. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, great challenge.
Correction, 8.
Following my recent results, predicting the challenges, I've given myself a one-match ban.
Kashyap.
Well, he had a run of 8 straight points in the opening game, didn't he? From 9-8 to 17-8.
8, 5.
Had a run of 7 straight points
Play.
right now. Kashyap Parupalli. That's nice defence. Yeah. Once again, a run of 8 straight points.
5.
I'm quite sure that Kento Momota is not fully fit. I don't think he can win this from the defense, and I think he knows that. We should see him attack a bit more if he's capable of it.
Service over. 6, 9.
I'm looking at his coach, Kita Masuda. Often, if you've lost a game and are behind in the second, as a coach, you want to take a chance in these intervals to sort of get everything right, get the tactical game plan right. But Masuda is very quiet down behind the yellow A board.
9.
That's often seen when you know your player is not totally fit. He knows his possibilities are limited.
Service over. 10, 6.
That was tremendous placement of the smash, though, wasn't it? Aiming towards the left hip there. Difficult for the left-hander.
He's got so many variations from his backhand side. There it is again. Great defense.
Yeah. Well, that's what we know he's capable of.
7,
Momota.
10.
Yeah, it's landed in.
8, 10.
Now, what on earth happened there?
9, 10.
I was trying a reverse slice.
Yeah, but did he completely mistime it? Or
Yeah,
did,
yeah.
Service over.
So it is Kashyap Parupalli who has the advantage at the mid-game interval. And of course he won the opening game as well.
Look, Masuda is coming in with ice to put on the neck of Momota.
Seconds. 20 seconds. Eleven, 9. Play.
That was a change of intensity and pace.
Absolutely.
10, 11.
Yeah, and again there.
11.
Picking up on the possibility as soon as it occurs.
Missed it.
It's terrible for Kashyap to miss that, because it was one of the variations from his forehand where he used the cross smash. So missing that one, he'd probably be a little bit more prone to stick to the right. Oh, sorry, the right side of the court, the straight smashes.
Service over. 12.
That's a good rally.
Yeah, very good rally. Good pace. Oh.
Excellent
Yeah.
smash from Kashyap.
30. 12.
Well, I think that's equalled our longest rally in this men's singles so far.
That's up.
Terrific. Brilliant rally.
Service over 30. All.
Well, big high lift from the left-hander. Giving himself time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that was the longest rally of the match so far. It's interesting, I was watching the French Open tennis semi-final last night, first of the semi-finals. In the third set tie-break, proudly came up the longest rally of the match, 20 shots.
Yeah.
Service over 40, 30. Play.
Yeah, force the short lift with a good net shot.
Service over
Momota.
40. All.
Yeah, look where his feet are. Barely past that front service line.
Service over 50, 40.
Kashyap is in a great position to secure his first Super Series final here, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Looks like Kento Momota is scrambling. Oh, that's a great shot. We talked about that earlier in the tournament. The left-hander's
50. All.
favorite shot there from the backhand side. Really hard to cover for right-handed players as they need to sort of close the straight smash to their backhand side.
Oh,
60, 50.
had a little think about it, didn't it? But decided not to go over that shuttle, that net shot. Crikey, look at that.
Thank you.
Sometimes we see players trying to sort of stay on the hands and feet in order not to wet the court, but looks like Momota would be absolutely sure that there was going to be a break. Flat down on the floor.
Yeah, it was good pace
70, 50.
once again in that rally from Momota.
Getting reinforcement from Coach Masuda, telling him that that was exactly the right thing to do, according to at least some part of the plan
So
that they discussed.
Oh. Well, doing to his opponent what his opponent did to him. Round the head smash towards the forehand side of your opponent.
recovered.
Very nice.
And he stays so close to the front court, to the net, and covers the front court well, Kashyap, and he's able to do that because he's got excellent skills around his shoulder height from the back court. His drives, when a bit under pressure, are really, really good. That one.
There's a challenge here from Momota.
Very important point.
Yeah. 17 all. And the psychological effect of this as well. It's not just the extra point. Here we go. Here's Hawkeye. He's going to tell us. Yeah, was out. Another great challenge, this time from Momota.
Service over. 18-17. Play.
Oh, goodness me, full pirouette there. It's gone long.
It's good.
Oh,
It's good.
well, Kashyap
90-17.
not challenging, so he must know that it was indeed good. Yeah, it was clearly, and well done, Steen. Well, the error there from Kashyap Parupalli means that Kento Momota has 3 game point opportunities to level this semi-final at 1 game apiece. Missed it. It is 1 game all. 21-17, that second game.
1 game all.
To the number 8 seed. Well, seemed a little slow to get up, but it was worth the effort because the smash here clearly wide. No, we will be treated to a third and deciding game. .44 minutes, and it's 1 game all. Yeah, Sina Newell has a little munch on her banana.
Yeah.
In between games.
It's important to have enough energy. I feel that Kento Momota is sort of still scrambling. I think he's quite tired. I don't think he's fully recovered from yesterday. He had a tough match against Anton Ginting. But it seemed like Kashyap got a little bit shaky towards the end of this game here. Of course, he was not unlucky because he played it long, but the challenge from Momota. Interesting to see because he's won the first game convincingly, and he was a little bit closer in the second. Will it be enough for him to sort of secure his first Super Series final, or can Kento Momota sort of sneak his way into the final?
Yeah, it's interesting because you were talking about that quarter-final at the World Championships 2 years ago with Kashyap when he had that match point opportunity. and it was almost as if he didn't dare to win it.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's going to be interesting here to see whether he has the mentality.
Yeah, it seems like he changes his playing style a little bit.
Yeah.
And you can't do that, because if you're winning by a small margin, if you change it a little bit and plays a little bit too conservative, then you're not better anymore. And then you rely on luck that the opponent is actually losing the game to you.
Yeah, exactly. And we were talking yesterday, I think I said, you know, you can't wait for it to happen, you've got to make it happen, and you've got to get out and win this.
Yeah.
What a good opening rally to this deciding game. Goodness me. Yeah, that will hurt Momota.
Yeah. I was sitting during the whole rally wondering, how are you going to score points from this side of the court, Mr. Momota? You're definitely not going to score them playing a defensive style. I don't think so.
Just raises his racket in an apology for the net cord on the return of serve.
I think if he's behind more than 11-8, it's going to be really difficult for Momota when they change the ends.
Landed in.
Service over. 2-1.
Clearly in. Oh, goodness me.
Wow.
That could be costly.
Maybe 11-8 is still possible.
Yeah.
Or he could lead.
I can't help, you know, when you made that comment just a few moments ago, I couldn't help but think about the final of the Singapore Super Series event when he was 7-12 down in the third game. Momota called out. And then he promptly, as I said earlier, won 14 of the next 17 points. He's got that capability, but this is very, very different conditions here. It's hot, it's humid. He's coming back from injury problems. It's a different scenario altogether.
But
no, there's another challenge here.
Close.
Kento Momota, challenge, call, E.
Well, both players have made a challenge so far in the match, and both of them have been right. They've both still got their 2 challenges. Yeah, that's caught the line. So Momota on this occasion, incorrect.
Challenge unsuccessful. Service over. 3-all. Kento Momota, 1 challenge remaining. Play.
What a change in background noise there is here
Yes.
compared to when Indonesians are on court.
Oh, that's perfect. Absolute precision from Kashyap Parupalli.
4-3.
He couldn't have walked over there and placed it any better than that. That is magnificent.
It's the second time that he's left one there. Kento Momota here in the third game. Oh,
Yeah, nice net shot.
Service over. 4 all. Service over.
Yeah, short
Five,
lift, got what it
four.
deserved. And it was all because of that wonderful tight spinning net shot from Kashyap.
348 kilometers per hour was the speed of that smash.
Service over. 5 all. Service over. 6 5. Service for call.
Oh, service fault called.
Service over.
Racket not facing in a
Six.
downward direction.
All.
It was also long, so we lost it anyway.
Seven, 6. Play.
Both players getting a little bit tensed. You can see it when they start jumping up and down, sort of to loosen up the muscles.
Yeah, that was a nervous looking shot, wasn't it?
8.
He's about to sort of let it slip away. Nice to towel down there by Kashyap.
Well, last year here at the Indonesia Superseries, we had a Japanese finalist in the men's singles. Nichi Tago, of course, lost out to Yano Jorgensen. And both Lee Chong-wei and Chen Long losing in the semi-final stage a year ago.
Service over.
Very important point for
7, 8.
Kashyap. We haven't talked about. That's a player we haven't talked about, Jill. That's Lee Chong-wei because he's not here.
No,
8 all.
the entries for this tournament had to be in before the hearing on Lee Chong-wei's doping case, and
So he doesn't have the benefit of sort of testing the playing conditions before the World Championships, where he's selected.
yes, in front of Chong-wei Feng. Of course, Lee Chong-wei has a wonderful record here at the Indonesian Super Series. Having won 5 times since the Super Series came into existence in 2007. That is remarkable, isn't it?
Well, it was 6-8 at the last towel down. Kashyap took the next 3 rallies. Interesting to see what this little break does for the momentum.
Nine, 8.
Wow.
9, 4.
I guess, as you were hinting at, it's changed the momentum. Well, it's too early to say momentum, but next rally to his opponent.
Seven, 10, 9.
It's wonderful precision again. Finds the line.
Play.
They could have played that. Thought it was going to go long, Kashyap. And it's 10-all. So who will have the advantage at the change of ends? This rally will decide that. Oh, it's landed well in.
He was hoping.
Yeah.
11, 10. Interval.
So it is Kashyap Parupalli who has the advantage, but there's only 1 point in it. And I suspect from what you said earlier, Steen, then you favour the outcome in the Japanese way.
If I had to pick one now, I think I would go with Momota. But I'm pretty sure that he's tired. But there's only 11 points left for him. And I checked the recovery time from yesterday, and I roughly think that Kashyap has had 6 more hours of recovery than Momota. And this being such a hot venue, I think around 28 degrees at least, it actually matters, and it could very well turn the things around for tomorrow's final, because the second semi-final in the men's singles is second last or last match today. It's the second last match, so there's going to be an advantage in recovery time for these two players. And I know the Danish team were on a training camp in Singapore between the Sudirman Cup and the Australian Open, and they had a physio coming out from Denmark in order to sort of measure how much fluid the players were losing during practice, so that they were sure to get enough fluid for recovery until the next day. And that could be the case should Jano Jorgensen make the final.
Yeah, rehydration, absolutely critical, of course. And I suppose, you know, from our perspective, we've got all the crowd watching one court. It looks tremendous to have one court for semi-finals day, but the only downside is exactly what you've just described. I mean, you know, if you're playing on 2 courts, then it's roughly equal recovery time for both players, but on a 1-court scenario, one player will definitely have an advantage.
And you almost never play 2 men's singles in a row, so the recovery time is as equal as possible.
No, that's right. In the 1-court scenario, you mean?
Yeah. You will always try to mix it up to have different categories.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, oh dear.
what happened there?
I hope he just lost his footing. He seems all right. I thought for a moment, I wondered if an ankle had gone. Oh, oh, I'm not sure.
I think he just got off easily, but it had potential to something really, really bad.
Well, as we look at that again, I'm watching Kashyap Parupalli very, very carefully. There was a little shake of the left leg. Yeah, but he seems to be okay.
Yeah. In some ways, it could perhaps help him a little bit because his thoughts could be on his left ankle instead of that he's going into a Super Series final.
Yeah.
Definitely think that Kento Momota has to stay close in order to sort of benefit from any kind of nervousness on the Indian side.
That's great judgment. Yeah, court will need to be mopped where he was down on his knees. Well, an hour and 3 minutes this has been in progress. And still, it's desperately difficult to call who's got the physical strength and, more importantly, who's got the mental strength. Oh, unbelievable net play from Momota. That is incredible, isn't it? Good defense. Good rally.
This is the best rally of the match.
Oh, Momota almost at standstill.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I simply think he ran out of energy.
Yeah.
Momota, midway through that rally, had to change from an attacking way to a more defensive attitude, but well exploited by Kashyap.
Yeah, and interestingly, Kashyap not allowed by the umpire to go and towel down.
No. Jumping up and down
Yeah.
again, loosening the muscles.
Yeah. Oh, it's called long. I'd be tempted to challenge that if I was Momota. Oh, no. That was a great call.
Yeah.
Great call by the line judge.
He was shouting a lot. Kashyap, at least more than he's done before. Like he was really, really satisfied about winning that shuttle, or that rally, sorry. But it's also, in some ways, a hint that this situation means a lot to him.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, after the dive, well, the Indian coach is looking a little nervous, but Momota is looking desperately tired, although he got up again after that dive. That was a poor next shot. Yeah, and look at the body language after the rally. He's a tired, tired man. He's the number 8 seed from Japan. Well, a 4-point advantage and 4 points away from a first ever Super Series tournament final. Yeah, once again, a little jump up and down on the spot. Trying to relax himself. Oh, this challenge. There's a challenge here from Kashyap.
Parupalli challenge.
And I think that was definitely worth a challenge. I haven't got the perfect view down that line, but it's pretty good. Yeah, it was definitely worth a challenge, because if it was out, it was only wide by a whisker. It was desperately close. Oh, goodness me, when I say a whisker, I do mean a whisker.
And it could be small margins like this that ends up deciding this men's semi-final. Last time he challenged that was Momota at 17 all. Kashyap lost 4 straight points.
(15-17).
Well played.
Great.
And it's good signs for Kashyap that he still is able to play his defensive shots with accuracy and keep his composure there.
(18-15). Oh, well, there's no lack of effort from these two men.
Set is over. 16-18. Thank you. (16-18).
Well, it really is coming down to who's got the nerve, isn't it? There's no questioning the desire.
A little change of service position.
Yep. Good play from Kashyap Parupalli. Had the nerve to go for the winning smash. In fact, he probably didn't even think that was going to be a winner. It was probably more of a setup smash, but he was ready. He was coming forward after the rally. The follow-up, as you call it. Well, what a time to break the strings of your racket.
Testing 3 different rackets. Kashyap not really knowing which one to choose.
Yeah, well, he seems happy with the one he's chosen. 2 tantalising points away from going where he's never gone before. A Super Series final. Oh, it's well in, well in. Yeah, that's another case of just hoping.
Not only the Super Series, but the Premier Series.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we've already had 3 singles players this year win their maiden Super Series title. 1 in the men's singles.
Oh, he's pushed it wide.
He's pushed it wide. 2 in the women's singles. Well, that's not worth a challenge.
No.
80, 90.
That was too late. He was conferring with his coaches.
Yeah, and his coaches can't possibly see from where they're sitting.
No, they have the umpire's chair in their way, so they don't know. They just thought that let's hope. We cross our fingers and hope it's in. But it wasn't.
18-19. That's nice. Oh, shuttle's terribly wobbly. Good defense. What a rally. Brilliant!
Absolutely fantastic rally on 19-18 in the 3rd game.
Unbelievable.
And they played so well, both players.
It's the longest rally of the match so far. Extraordinary retrieving. Look at that defensive shot from Kashyap. Come on, says Keita Masuda. 19-all. He's pushed it long and on a run of 4 straight points.
20,
Kento Momota has earned himself a match point opportunity. straight points to close out the match. Well, he held his nerve, did Kento Momota, but spare a thought for Kashyap Parupalli. Yeah. Kashyap Parupalli, who's so often been so close to medals or the big victory. Ecstasy for one, agony for the other. What a super control on the net shot. An hour and 17 minutes. And their confirmation of the score, 12-21, 21-17, 21-19 in the third game on a run of 5 straight points to close out the match. What a wonderful semi-final. Well, what a start to semi-finals day here in Jakarta. 2 magnificent matches, both over the hour mark, both going to 3 games. Women's doubles is up next, and that features the Indonesian pair who won the Asian Games gold medal last year. Then we've got women's singles, and we finish off with men's doubles, and once again, home players involved in the men's doubles. So, with women's doubles coming up next, we've got a chance to look at the Destination Dubai Super Series rankings at the moment. And there's 3 Chinese pairs involved there. And Matsutomo and Takahashi swapped places with the twin sisters from China after their semi-final performance in Sydney. Of course, the twin sisters didn't play the Australian Open. Nice to see 7 different nations in the top 10 there on the Destination Dubai rankings.